to do this both ways. I wanted to hit two places at once, and since I'm just starting off with this, I do want to say welcome to Driven by Destiny's Safe Place. In this place, we will discuss all things in life without judgment. I want to emphasize the word without. We will be starting at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please like, comment, and share this broadcast. You don't want to miss this discussion. There are some things that did change with today's plans. It was supposed to be someone that I was going to be speaking with. That did change. I will be doing this every 2 weeks for a new person. And like I said, this is a safe place with Driven by Destiny. Again, we are discussing all things in life without judgment. Please be mindful of your comments so you won't get blocked. Please understand that not everybody is on your level, and you are indeed not on everybody else's level. So the same respect that you would like, please offer that to your fellow person. So with that being said, with that being said, please grab your drinks, a box of tissues if you need. Some may be criers. I can be a big baby. I can be a crier. Today's discussion is going to be pretty deep, pretty heavy, only because it is Mother's Day. So first and foremost, happy Mommy's Day to everyone who is a mommy. Thank you so much. Yes, I am a mommy of 4 souls in this realm. I also have 2 souls in the eternal realm, and that is what we'll be discussing today. It is my personal story of life after miscarriages. I want to share this story with the world because a lot of people have gone through this. A lot of people have gone through the depression that comes after it. A lot of people have gone through these things and didn't have anyone to talk to. You know what I mean? Miscarriages are indeed extremely hard to experience, and it does not matter if you lost your baby at 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or stillborn. It does not matter how far you were in a pregnancy, especially if you were really wanting that pregnancy. So I'm just going to go into my story, and I'm going to leave questions for afterwards for those who may have questions. I'm going in both directions. So you're going to see me looking back and forth. I have Facebook, my Facebook page, which is Driven by Destiny. If you are not following, please follow. For those who are on Facebook who do not follow me on TikTok, I am Hope Deliverer on TikTok. So go ahead and follow me there. So let me give you my story regarding life after miscarriages. At the time I was married. I was married to the father of my 4 children here. And this was in the year of 2002. We found out that we were pregnant. Of course, I was extremely happy. I've always wanted to be a mom. Kind of a little bit of history. I remember when my mom told me this. I told my mom at the age of 12 that I wanted to have a baby. Now, she freaked out. She's like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this girl? She's 12 years old talking about she wants a baby. Oh my God, please help me. She even gave me, brought for me two twin Cabbage Patch Kids. If y'all know anything about Cabbage Patch Kids, please send a heart, both in Facebook and TikTok. Those were the little baby dolls that were with fabric, not plastic, of course. They were amazing. So my mom brought me two of them. And guys, excuse me real quick. Again, this is live. I am a mom and I have my son out here making noise. Give me a second. Moses, take that. Sorry, Lord. All right, guys, sorry. So yeah, 2002, I'm married since 2001. We find out that we were pregnant. I was so happy. And I remember just one morning waking up and the bed was wet. And I was like, oh my God, I thought I peed on myself. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, so I'm kind of like smelling and feeling, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't smell like anything. So let me, go to the bathroom and get myself cleaned up. When I went to the bathroom, of course, I felt pressure. At that point, I realized I was having a miscarriage. The baby was coming. I was only at that time 2.5 months pregnant. At that moment, I freaked out and I was like, oh no, we can't do this, we can't do this. And I did something that would probably seem a little, like TMI, but again, this is Driven by Destiny's safe place. So be ready for real and raw discussions, okay? I began to push the baby back in. Why I did that, I have no idea. All I know is I'm sitting on the toilet using the bathroom and I feel pressure and I feel something coming out, and I automatically thought it was the baby. And I was just like, oh my God, this cannot be happening. I'm crying. My husband at that time comes into the bathroom. He tells me to get into the tub. Obviously, this is something that could not stop. So I ended up giving birth to the baby in the tub. After that, he called the ambulance. The ambulance picked me up, went to the hospital. And after that, after the examination, we were told that the baby was in fact dead. And they did a DNC. For those who do not know what a DNC is, basically layman's terms, they're going into your uterus and they're scraping everything out. They're just cleaning house. There's no reason for a dead baby to be in there, so they're cleaning it all out. After that experience, of course, I felt like a failure. I felt like I was being punished. I felt depressed. I just felt like, why would God do this to me? I don't know if you've ever been there or anyone who's ever been there, but I was definitely there. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know what to do. All I know is the baby was dead and the baby was gone. Life went on after that. I tried my very best to go on day by day, go to work, be a wife, be a daughter, be a friend. And it just seemed like nothing really was making sense, Shortly thereafter, I got pregnant again, and we were excited again. We were scared again because we just lost the baby. We just had a miscarriage. We didn't know how to feel, at that time. Would it happen again? Would we actually have a full-term birth? What's going on, 9 months later is when I got pregnant again. So I got pregnant relatively quick. The first miscarriage was 2.5 months. 9 months later, I had another miscarriage. I was a little further along at that time, about a month or so more. So, give or take, I was, 3.5 months or so. But the way that came about was kind of tough, even more tough because, I went into my doctor's appointment for a checkup. I did not know at that time that the baby was once again dead. I did not know that. I went to my doctors and, they looked for a heartbeat. They're looking, to see how the baby has grown from the previous appointment. And it went from, if you've seen sonograms, you have like this little circular thing, inside of the uterus, and you can see like a little thing inside the circle. Well, that was the first sonogram that I had. It was like a circle with something in it, and, so we could tell there was a baby there. But on the second follow-up appointment, that circle was then flat, and it was like there was no heartbeat. So we were given the notification, if you will. We were given the notice that this baby also was dead. At that time, I kind of just was numb. I was just like, well, you know, here we go again. What was kind of scary though at that time is that in that doctor's office, they simply just took me from one side of the office to the other side of the office, and there they pumped me with some medications that will kind of put me out. You know, I was not asleep, but I was pretty drugged up, to say the least. And they performed a DNC right then and there. I do remember next to the bed that I was at, there was like this little container, if you will. It was like a plastic container. It had like a little curtain around it. So I saw maybe about an inch on the very top of this plastic or glass container. They explained to me what a DNC was, even though I knew what a DNC was. But, you know, this time I was more alert of what was happening. And I remember the pain of, you know, the DNC happening once again, 9 months later from my first miscarriage. And this time I was traumatized because I saw pieces of my baby being suctioned into this container. So even though there was a curtain, if you will, on this container, there was that little bit on top that I'm telling you about an inch all around. And I wish I could, you know, this is my water bottle I'm drinking. So like, just as, you know, visual, all of this was covered with a curtain, if you will, but it was just this top part that I was seeing. And so I saw, you know, pieces of the baby kind of getting thrown around in there because of the DNC. Again, the DNC is a suctioning and cleaning out of the uterus. And DNCs are done not only for miscarriages, they're done for different things. But in my case, it was done because this was my second miscarriage. After that, I was sent home, you know, on to the next patient, you know. This is life. How did I feel? I felt even more horrible than the first miscarriage. I felt like, you know, surely I'm never going to have kids, you know, and I wanted kids. And I remember after that, you know, the doctor did tell me that I had a very, very small chance of having children. And I remember specifically, she said about 1%. I was sitting there thinking like, well, damn, 1%? Out of 100, there's no way I have no problems. Now, I did have a history of PCOS. If you guys are not aware of PCOS and what that is, please look it up. I definitely don't want to take too much time going into the definition of different medical issues. I am not a medical practitioner. I don't give medical advice. I just give you my story. This is what's happened to me. So look up PCOS if you're not familiar with it. Literally, that's the acronym, PCOS. Look it up for yourself. You may be experiencing this, or you may know someone who is experiencing this. So it's good to be in the know of what exactly that is. So I did have a history of PCOS. And I remember the doctor just saying, you know, you have about a 1% chance of having kids. My husband at that time and I were very, very distraught. We were upset. We were, you know, you name it, we probably felt it. And I just kind of gave up. And again, this was in 2002, and then 9 months later, again with the second miscarriage, was in 2003. It wasn't until 2005, you know, some years later. At that time, you know, I was really heavy going into the church and different things of that nature. And I remember just feeling like, whatever, you know, I felt like a zombie. I kind of felt like I'm just here, like, whatever. I remember crying and praying and like asking God, please, you know, what have I done that I would have 2 miscarriages? You know, here I am married, here I am trying to do this. And you try to find all the right things. You know, when you go through some kind of trauma, you're trying to find a reason as to why you would be subject to whatever the trauma it is that you're going through. And I remember just crying out to God. I was just praying. I was like, God, why won't you let me have a baby? You know, what have I done? You know, I did this. I've been doing this. I've been trying my best. And here I am trying to like bargain with God and like, God, please, if you give me a baby, blah, blah, blah. And at that time, you know, I really just gave up hope in trying to have a baby. In my mind, you know, these years passed on and there was no baby. And I was just like, well, I'll just never have a baby. And then my mind started going into the direction of, well, there's always adoption, you know, and there's always fostering and there's always babysitting, you know. My mind, I just went into so many different directions because I was trying to fill that void, if you will. And I remember in 2005, I found out we were pregnant again. This time I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to care. You know, all right, so the pregnancy test is positive in 2005. So what? You know, I was like, it's probably, you know, it'll probably happen again. And so I was very numb at that time. I didn't know really how to feel, and I didn't want to feel at that time, just in case. You know, I'm pretty sure you can imagine how I was feeling. So 2005 came, and we found out we were pregnant again. I was like, all right, so we're pregnant again. All right, so we went to the doctor. The doctor, you know, confirmed that, yeah, we are pregnant, and I'm still like, all right, you know, let's go home. Let's go eat, do whatever. Then I went to my follow-up appointment where you're supposed to hear the heartbeat at 6 weeks. So we went into that appointment. Again, I'm not really feeling anything. I'm just like, you know, whatever. And I lay down and she put that gel on my belly and went ahead and, you know, got the sonogram wand out and started, you know, going all over my belly and everything. And lo and behold, do you know what we heard? We heard the heartbeat. And I remember like, oh my God. And we're hearing, and it was so fast and it was so strong. And I was like, oh my God. And we were just in an uproar in the room. We were like, oh my God, we hear the heartbeat. And I was like, okay, all right, there's a heartbeat. How do I feel? I don't know how I feel at that time. I'm excited. And at the same time, you know, I'm like, still, what do I do? How do I feel? You know what I'm saying? And after that, you know, after about 3 months of being pregnant, and because I was considered high risk, I had plenty of sonogram pictures, and every follow-up, the heartbeat was still there. Our son was growing bigger and stronger. And we were so like, wow, this is really, really happening. It happened so well, I gained 40 pounds in my first pregnancy. And our first son, Elijah, was born on April 24th, 2006. This was after 2 miscarriages. And the rest is history. We had our daughter, Rebecca, in 2008. We had Joseph in 2009. We had Moses in 2012. And there we stopped. And I tell you what, after 2 miscarriages, after giving up, after feeling like what's the use, and wanting to keep dreaming of being a mother, especially when the doctor tells you have only 1% chance of having a baby, you know, what was I to do? Everything, whether you want to call God or source or universe, nonetheless, it was for us to have those 4 children in this realm. And I say this realm because I am still a mother of 6. even though I do not have two with me. And like I said, this discussion is a biggie, especially because it is Mother's Day. I cannot tell you the amount of mothers I have spoken to over the years who have experienced miscarriages and don't necessarily have a child yet in this realm. And Mother's Day is a very, very hard day for them. They don't necessarily feel like a mother because they don't have the baby here with them. But I want to encourage you that you are still a mother. And I do understand the hurt and the pain. And again, it doesn't matter how far you were in your pregnancy. It doesn't even matter how long ago it was, because there have been times that even after all of these years, when I think about it long enough, I can still go through a grieving process for the first two souls that I was chosen to hold in my womb for a short period of time. And again, those two souls, they are eternal. Your soul, your spirit is eternal. Okay. So it's not like they're dead and not in existence. They are very much alive and in existence. They're just not here with me. And since it was so early, I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. However, I know this one thing: they are mine. And the father, we're not married anymore, but they belong to us. And so Mother's Day is a difficult time, whether it's violence, gun violence, abuse. And my heart goes out to each and every one of you, because I cannot imagine how that feels. However, for those who have experienced miscarriages, I do understand. And yes, even after all of these years from 2002 and 2003, I still understand. This is not something that you ever forget. And please don't allow anyone to ever have you feeling that, hey, it's been 10 years, why are you feeling whatever? You can kindly tell them to mind their own business, because they are not the ones who are grieving in the way that you are. And so I just he'll come around. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys today on Mother's Day, those who have experienced miscarriages, those who have lost, you have a community of support. If you ever need to reach out and chat with me regarding miscarriages, you are more than welcome to. I will now open up the floor if you have any questions, any comments that I have seen. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you very much for that. And if you also are a mother, again, whether you have miscarried or if you have your children in this room, happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to the grandmothers, the great grandmothers, the aunties, those who are in charge or those who are legal guardians. Happy Mommy's Day to you as well. I do hope that this day brings lots of joy, lots of food, lots of drinks, because I'm definitely going to have mine. So and so I'm just going to give you guys a few minutes. Again, I don't want to take up much of your time. This is a day of celebration, but I wanted to share this story with you. I also want to let you guys know that we will be having in another 2 weeks. Let me give the date to you 1 second. On the 28th of May, which is also a Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have another life discussion. Again, remember that Driven by Destiny's Safe Place is a place where we will discuss all things in life without judgment. So again, be mindful of your comments. Be mindful of people's life journey, where they are at. Give the respect and it will be given back to you. Plus, you don't want to get blocked. Come on now. Y'all want to really enjoy what we're talking about. If you are coming on at this time, We are about to close out. I do ask that you watch the replay. I do ask that you share this video. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you, Chalissa. Thank you for those on TikTok who said Happy Mother's Day. You know how the comments go, so I don't even remember the names, but I do thank you. I want to acknowledge you for wishing me a happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much. Again, watch the replay. Please share. Please comment. And please join us again in 2 weeks on the 28th of May, which is a Sunday. We will be holding these every 2 weeks on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, we will be having another life discussion without judgment. If this video and this message resounded with you, please let me know. You can message me, you can comment, whatever you feel the most comfortable doing. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will go ahead and shut off Facebook first, and then I will shut off TikTok. All right, you guys are loved. Have an excellent day.